Zach's not dancing. Why isn't Zach dancing?
I am dancing. Am I frozen?
No, you're good. That just is kind of a low-key dance
I'm just
compared to
vibing.
me and Jack.
I'm vibing.
Well, welcome to another edition of the KSR Happy Hour presented by Country Boy Brewing. We usually go live on a Thursday, but Christmas was Thursday this week, so we're going live on the day after Christmas, or if you're in the United Kingdom, Boxing Day. So it's good to see you guys. We have a smaller crew here today, but a mighty crew nonetheless. Yes, we've got Jack Pilgrim and his Christmas jammies. Jack, how you doing?
Festive. I'm doing very. I'm joyful. I couldn't be better. This is the best time of year, and nobody can ever take it away from me.
There you go. All right, and we've got Zack Geoghegan live from somewhere in the Northeast at his family's home.
I'm in a town called Sandwich.
Sandwich.
This town is called Sandwich. Yes, we're up here in off Cape Cod area-ish. So,
what kind of sandwich?
I want to know though, are those is that a onesie?
No, it's a
butt flap.
It's a twosie. It's a twosie.
Okay.
I also have matching socks with it that I'm not wearing, but you're not going to see my feet on this show unless things get really off the rails.
Yeah, you really got to send a super chat for that.
That's happy hour plus for that one.
I want to know more about this town called Sandwich. Like, what's the origin of that?
I don't know, actually. I guess I probably have been told it before, but it's just one of these small little towns up here. Like, there's a bunch of like Falmouth and Barnstable and all these little tiny towns that are like an hour outside of Boston, hour and a half outside Boston. So my dad's been up here for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now at this point. So this is our new Christmas spot. We come up here every year now. And there's a little Christmas flavor. There's some little stuff on the railing there and an old picture from the 2000s over there. So, but not much like Zach childhood memorabilia just lying around, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, Cape Cod area seems very Christmassy. I was up in Nantucket.
It is. It's been done up over here for sure.
Yeah,
I believe it's 70 degrees in Lexington, so it's like 30 here, which is kind of different.
It was 76 degrees here in Nashville yesterday. Like, we had to turn our air conditioning on.
Yeah,
sickening.
It is sickening.
But I'm glad you're enjoying the a more festive weather. Although it's supposed to get super, super cold here in a couple days, so I'll take it while we can. But yeah, so we're live the day after Christmas. It's kind of a quiet time, it feels like, for UK sports, but there's a ton of other stuff happening. Oh, Sam, look at Stephen with the facts.
Stephen Peak on the Wikipedia back there.
Wow.
On Cape Cod's oldest town. There you go.
There is a 33-degree drop coming from Monday to Tuesday. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. 63 to 30.
Yeah.
And you wonder why people are getting sick. Like we were just talking pre-show. Yeah. Ugh. No thanks.
Well, it was 70 degrees here last week in Sandwich, my dad said. Like 4 or 5 days ago, it was 70 degrees, and then it was snowing yesterday. So this is just where we are in the world right now.
In Sandwich.
That sounds so funny. It's funny because like their cop cars literally say Sandwich Police. So you're like instantly you're thinking like there's cops patrolling around making sure everyone's sandwich is in order, that it has the right thickness on the tomatoes. Yeah, like they're running, like instead of guns, they've got little ketchup squirt bottles just going around, like, or mayonnaise, something like that. It is funny though.
Yeah. Well, we've got a very crowded chat already. Connor BBN in the YouTube chat says the day after Christmas should be considered a holiday. It is if you live in England. It's Boxing Day. Do either of you all know what Boxing Day is?
I've heard of it. I know that it's a thing. I don't know. Stephen will have to send a chat in here and let us know what it's about.
I think I know what it is. Isn't it when you donate stuff the day after Christmas in the United Kingdom? That's like a tradition.
Steven says it's when the peasants get to open our presents.
Peasants get to open our presents. I don't know what that means. I think they do it in Canada too, I want to say.
Yeah, well, they were part of the United Kingdom at one point. So we've got Holly's in the chat. She said she hopes everyone had a great holiday. Marilyn Spitz 867 is making Scotch shortbread as she listens to us. That sounds delicious.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Have you all had any good snacks around the house, Christmassy snacks?
My mom makes these little fudge pretzel, like white chocolate pretzel stick things, and I've already had 3 of them today. So, so those are pretty delicious. Last night's my meals yesterday, I had Szechuan shrimp for lunch, and I had manicotti and chicken Alfredo for dinner. So we are not like ham and the traditional fixins. So I could use kind of just the go-to Christmas tradition meal that
don't you have like 6 Christmases you're going to? So you're probably going to get it at some point.
And you know what I'm eating tonight? Parlor freaking Pizza, the best pizza joint on the planet. I'm eating their pizza and wings tonight at my father's house. So no, it is not a traditional Christmas dish, but it's better than that. So thank you to hey, it's Zach's dad. Hi, Zach's
dad.
Hi, Zach's dad.
My dad is making his first ever KSR appearance. He doesn't even realize I didn't even tell him I was doing this. So he was at the store.
I love him.
I love that.
He's in the back there. Yeah, Jack's met my dad. He met him in Springfield, Massachusetts for a
the Hoop Hall. Hi.
Hey, there he goes. Yeah, at Hoop Hall. We met him or Jack, Jack got to meet him for what did we go? We went to like Waffle House or something, or Denny's or something weird. Something like that. It was like a random little chain place because it was the only place that we was open and we could go to, but good times, yeah. So I forget what we were just talking about.
Food. Just food.
There we go.
Yeah, here we go.
There's the definition there. Service Victorian.
Masters. This is.
Oh, so Stephen wasn't really kidding with his first line there.
Oh, and then he missed the next part. Leftovers to take. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. All right, cool. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Shout out Parlor Pizza.
Now I think it's more like a PC way of saying let's donate to people who need stuff the day after Christmas. But
yeah, we still need that. So, but we've been eating mostly normal stuff around here. Holly says hello to my dad. Shout out. Last night, like yesterday, we had like beef tenderloin and all the fixins, mashed potatoes, green beans, mac and cheese, bread. You got to have your bread with it. We had like some like Derby pie-esque type dessert afterwards that we had to get brought in from somewhere else because Derby pie isn't really a thing up here, or as much as it is like in Kentucky. So we had to go get some of those, but that was good. So that was kind of our traditional little Christmas thing.
That sounds good. Yeah, Derby pie is just pecan pie with chocolate, right?
That's literally what it was. It was the name of the pie was just all the ingredients that are in there, and I was like, that sounds like Derby pie. That's what they just don't call it Derby pie.
They have the naming rights. They can't say so. They just have to list all the ingredients.
Churchill Downs owns the rights for that one.
Well, we had a strip loin roll roast, which was really good. We had like a cranberry Brussels sprout salad. We did asparagus and baked potatoes. It's very much like steakhouse style Christmas. And then so we got like a little store-bought cheesecake for dessert. And then my husband got like the cherry topping, like a can of it. We couldn't open the can. Like we own a can opener, but it would not open the can.
Tyrese Maxey, was it your Christmas?
Right. It kind of felt like it. We felt really, really dumb. Yeah. Like we're sitting there trying to open this can of cherry topping. To the point that my husband got like a flathead screwdriver. Yeah, he got a flathead screwdriver and was like trying to open it, and we just gave up. We were like, you know what, it's just meant to happen. But we were feeling pretty dumb about 8:00 last night while we were watching Stranger Things and trying to get cherries out of a can. It was a lot, but anyway, so we are excited to talk to you guys. We've got more food talk in the comments.
Ryan really wants Jack and I to have a sleepover together.
The Jack and
really adamant about it.
We have to. You will sleep. You will sleep over at Zach's house. Okay, you will. He said, "Is Jack having a sleepover?" That was the first question that he asked. Technically, every night is a sleepover if you really think about it. Just it depends on your setting, and you got to make the most of every day.
We're on YouTube so much it feels like we all see each other every minute of the day. So
yeah.
Cole Maker 4025 says my wife made an orange juice bundt cake. I've had Sissy Cake's version, and he thinks his wife's was better. I think you kind of have to say that because it's your wife, which is a smart husband move. But those Sissy Cakes, have either of you had one of them? Will Stein, Mother's Bakery.
I had them. They had them at KS Bar when I did one of the pregame shows. I can't remember, and they so much like. Sometimes you got to stretch the truth a little bit, and it's like, oh, yeah, this is the greatest thing. Like, I took a bite and I was like, oh wow, that actually is really, really freaking
good. The orange juice one you had?
Oh, they had the orange juice one and the bourbon one, and both of them were delicious.
Yeah, I do plan on having it eventually. Whenever I'm in Louisville next, I'm gonna try and make a stop for him.
Yeah, it sounds really good. We did get a little bit of Kentucky news yesterday, so I woke up Christmas morning, I was scrolling my phone and I was like, they announced the denim jerseys. And I'm like, I got to jump out of bed and put this on the website. So we're getting the denim jerseys February 7th for the game versus Tennessee at Rupp Arena. The long-awaited, long teased, much anticipated denim jerseys. What was your all's reaction when you saw that tweet? Zach, I'll start with you.
I thought, of course, this was a Christmas news day dump that they would. That's just kind of that was actually my first reaction. Was of course they announced it Christmas morning, but just happy to have it. Glad that it's actually happening and it's finally here. So it felt like it was going to come a little bit earlier in the season, just based on how it had been talked about throughout since the summer and been teased and all that. But today, especially debuting against Tennessee, good call on that one too. And by that point, over a month from now, like who knows, Kentucky could be. There's kind of two lanes Kentucky could go down at that point. Like they could be healthy and really good, or decimated by injury still and not looking very good. So that's kind of risky to have it that far out, because Kentucky could kind of be in an either or spot right there. But it's not like Tennessee's going to be world beaters either. So I think that's a good time to debut them there.
Yeah, I think it just was not the right time or place against Rick Pitino. As much as I wanted it to be when the game was announced, it made so much sense when the game was announced. And I'm sure if they had been steamrolling everybody by a million up to that point, they probably would have just done the big surprise. But with how the season started and what those jerseys mean, whether you love them or hate them, they're iconic because of who wore them. It was it was one of the best teams ever assembled in college basketball that steamrolled everybody all the way through the finish line, starting on February 11th, all the way through. And it was kind of more of the like, man, we could wear anything and beat the crap out of these teams. So they're polarizing on paper, the jerseys, but the meaning behind them suggested that this team wasn't quite ready to wear a jersey that meant what it did. So I'm glad that they held off. They didn't just do a kind of an abrupt surprise just because it was Pitino. And then we get a build up. And as Zach said, the season could go one way or the other. If we're humming and beating the crap out of teams, and hey, they're deserving of it. If not, we could kind of view it as hey, we need some type of spark. We need some type of late season resurgence. I think a month out is probably the best timing for it. So I'm excited that we get to finally see them.
Yeah, and I think it would have been weird had they brought them out for the St. John's game, given how the season was going, kind of like you guys said. Mm-hmm. The original ones debuted, it will be almost 30 years to the day. So the original ones in 96, I think they debuted them versus Arkansas on February 11th. So that's kind of cool. Gotcha. That it's closer there. And then if you look at the schedule, there aren't a ton of like marquee Saturday home games this season. It kind of feels like Tennessee and then Florida are the biggest of those. So I'm glad that it's going to be a big Saturday in Rupp. Tennessee, I think, is ranked 20 now. So I haven't really paid much attention to them, but it should be a good game. And hopefully, like Zach said, we're not worrying about injuries quite as much as we are right now. Because if I have to stress out about Jalen Lowe's shoulder for the next 18 games, which I think we're going to, it's going to be a long winter. Yeah. So Zach, did you get to watch the Bellarmine game? So you were en route to Sandwich.
Yeah, so when I went to Sandwich, I was up to Sandwich, had my sourdough waiting for me. I landed and there was like 4 minutes left in the game, and the score was really close. So I was, doing some box score looking, and Cam Williams had 7 or 8 threes at that point already. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a very odd. So I immediately texted Steven and Brandon and was like, hey, what's going on? Like, why is the score so close? And and I was able to watch it on the drive back, like he already had it uploaded and ready to go for me on YouTube. So I was able to watch it on the way back. And Bellarmine, their offense is just kind of a well-oiled machine, essentially. And it felt like they were just able to just pass the ball around a Kentucky team that looked like they were ready for Christmas break. Yeah,
that's kind of how we viewed it. Jack and Nick and I did the rapid reaction with Nick's tiny little hand that I don't know how we missed that, because he had it in the intro. I went back and looked. He had it in the intro, and none of us spotted it. But man,
wow, Nick's hand is really small today.
I was too busy having my sleepover with Jacob. I was
that's right. You already have one sleepover this week. But yeah, I don't really feel like you can take too much away from that game. Without Jalen Lowe, I don't feel like it's fair to really judge this team right now. And Cam Williams obviously was the big takeaway. And Cam's kind of your guy, Zach. So I was like, oh man, it feels like he's having this big game and Zach's not even there to see it. But
I guess I guess I just have to not watch any games for the rest of the season and let Cam Williams just go off. But I did like how Jasper played. Yeah, I'm kind of in the camp of just let's try and just force feed him some point guard minutes and let him play through all his mistakes and see what happens. I mean, his that one step back move he had where he like dipsy dude around and I don't know if his toe was ended up being on the line or not, but like that 3-pointer that was kind of making its rounds on social media was pretty cool. Like there's not many guys on this team or in the country really that can do stuff like that. So that was fun, but yeah, otherwise, no Jalen Lowe, limited JQ minutes. Definitely felt like it was just okay. Let's just kind of get through this game and 1 o'clock tip on a two days before Christmas. Just everything about it was odd. So
is that our official scientific definition? Dipsy do? Is that what we're going to call that one?
Yes, it was the step back dipsy do.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
we got
James Harden coined it years ago.
All right, fair enough.
So, yeah, they're on a 10-day break now. We'll get more to that later if you guys want. But it sounds like, Jasper played how many minutes? Like 22 or something. He got some extended run at point guard.
Yep.
Does this just mean we're giving up on the whole potentially finding another point guard over the break kind of thing? Because there were whispers of that. And then right before the game, it was like, well, we're going to see what Jasper can do. So, Jack, any news on that? I
am here to tell you Pope would deeply regret making it that very specific decision, probably as it relates to Jasper, honestly. But I just think it's a knowing what is available out there for midseason additions at this stage. All of the good talent has already been gobbled up. Like there is nobody out there that you could get on campus in a week and expect to come in and be a high level contributor that you can't already get from Jasper Johnson. That won't just piss him off and piss everybody else in the locker room for trying to disrupt. We had Michael Moreno on Sources Say right before the Bellarmine game. And I said, just you as a former D1 player, how would you react if your head coach decided to bring in a mid-year transfer, mid-year addition or whatever, and gave him real minutes? Not an Oscar Tshiebwe, he's redshirting the rest of the year, yada, 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 but somebody that expected to come in. He go, oh no, we'd be furious. Like that's just, you haven't been in the trenches with us. You haven't hit rock bottom with us. You haven't taken the high highs and the low lows and been through the summer grind and all that. You don't get to skip through all of that stuff and get to the midway point and walk with us to the finish line. It doesn't work that way. So there would be a lack of respect in the locker room there. And it would do so much more harm than good that they could just be spending this time working on Jasper as your go-to guy. I think he has shown enough promise. He was very good against Bellarmine. Bellarmine is Bellarmine, but I do think that there's enough. The juice is worth the squeeze with Jasper if you actually invest in him the right way.
Yeah, I mean, he's potential. He's still viewed as an NBA draft prospect, and he should be down the road just because of his pure talent. But my thing with adding a potential point guard was always, what's the market? Who are you going to get? Who's the player you're going to find? And the James Najee news did kind of change that a little bit because of the fact that he was drafted and everything, but. So people, you could say, well, Baylor just added an NBA draft pick. I mean, they did, but they also didn't because James Najee wasn't even good enough to ever sign an actual contract with an NBA team. He's been playing in Europe for the last 5 years, essentially. Like he's not going to come in here and be like an All-American for Baylor right off the bat. He's probably just going to be a regular center for them who's just trying to recoup some of the money that he lost by not playing in the NBA. So and like Jack said, the whole chemistry issue, Jasper's a very talented player. He's one of the more purely talented players on the team. He's just not there yet. He's still too skinny, not strong enough. So, the decision making isn't there. So you want to try and work him into that role to where he can be maybe the end of the season. And unless you're bringing in someone who's, the other thing is you're going to bring in a random guy to be Jalen Lowe's backup, but he's already not better than or he's already supposed to be better than Jasper Johnson too. Like the player that you're looking for is probably just not out there. It just probably doesn't exist. So I think that's the main. Yeah, that's the main. That's the main issue with the whole thing is who you're going to get. The player, the specifics of the player you need does not exist right now, or at least I don't. I haven't seen any real names of guys that actually make sense, other than some guy who played for Tennessee A&T and shot 38% from the field and was a bad player last season and is in the portal for a reason still right now. So it doesn't really make too much sense unless Pope can find somebody. But like I said, I don't think that player's out there.
Well, if you go back to like the Calipari era with all the freshmen, it feels like they typically, the good ones would take a step forward in like late January, early February. So, I mean, that could still potentially happen with Jasper. He played well, 7 assists to 1 turnover, as Mark Pope whispered into Jack Pilgrim's ear at the press conference.
7-1.
So
Is that what that was? I feel like I heard that when I was listening to the press conference. Is that Pope?
That was Pope whispering in my ear. It was weird.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I heard like whispers in the back, and I saw Jasper looking at somebody. I was like, "What the hell's going on back there?" Talking to his coach. Okay, gotcha.
But in other fun talk, the NBA draft pick coming back to college, or he wasn't even coming back to college because he was an international guy, but coming to college after being drafted. Oscar Tshiebwe had a lot of fun with that on social media. I think he tweeted multiple times that he would come back to Kentucky for another season. Like, I don't think that can happen technically, right? But wouldn't it be
he's played in the NBA, so unless we're really, because then you're just breaking all the rules, and then you can because at that point, why not just let LeBron James play college? You know, if you're gonna let someone like Oscar play. It's
a fun dream though, because who wouldn't want Oscar Tshiebwe? Maybe not on this team exactly, but it was fun to see him tweeting all about that. That was another.
Imagine him next to Jaden Quaintance though, like those two players together. I would give anything for it. I really would. We talk about smash mouth basketball. That right there is smash mouth basketball.
Just don't even shoot a 3. Just remove the 3-point line if you got those two guys out there. You don't need
Dan Issel is somewhere clapping and cheering right
now. Let's see. Well, we had on our list the best presents that we got on Christmas. Did you all get anything interesting that you want to share with the class?
I mean, no, my Christmas gifts are usually just like we do like a little Secret Santa thing with my family. So like my dad's wife's family comes in, and like all the kids, we all get together and do a little Secret Santa thing. So I asked for a meat thermometer, because that's just where I'm at in my life right now. So that was a little thing I got. But then like on top of that gift, I also got like a Drake's gift card with it. So when I'm not feeling like cooking chicken and using my meat thermometer, I'll just go to Drake's and use the gift card I got for that instead. But otherwise, it's just small stuff between Meredith and I, and things like that.
I want to show off. Oh, go ahead. I want to show off mine real quick. So I travel a lot, postseason and stuff, and I don't drink coffee. I just drink tea. So whenever I'm in a hotel room, they have those cheap little disposable coffee makers. Yeah, you can get hot water from them, but it's always gross because it's been run through those coffee pods and whatever. So my husband, shout out, got me a collapsible teapot, electric tea kettle that I can take on the road. How cool is that?
Oh, nice. You just plug it in, I guess, and it heats it up, or is it battery operated?
That's nice. That's very thoughtful. Like that's a very a very specific need that you have that fits it to a T. Perfect. Well done, Matt.
So well done, Matt. What about you, Jack?
I still have the issue, not an issue, but my family had the bright idea of this year combining a couple of Christmases in Cincinnati. It's my nephew's birthday. He's kind of one of those like New Year's baby birthdays, and he's having his birthday party, kind of like one of those fun zones with a bunch of playground equipment, mass chaos. And then we're going there, and then after that leaving and going back to their house and doing all of the Christmases combined. So up to this point, it's been like low-key thing. It did all of at Katie's parents' house. That was normal Christmas. But like last night was over my mom's house, but like we didn't do any gift exchange or anything because we saved it all for Sunday. Tonight we're doing a little bit of gift exchange for some of the cousins and stuff, but saving it all for Sunday. So it's going to be mass chaos on Sunday with all of the presents being exchanged. So I haven't gotten all of them yet. I have asked for a lot of like UK retro kind of rapid reaction stuff for me to wear on those. So I'm very excited for that. I don't know what that's going to entail, but
rapid reaction wardrobes.
I'm very excited for that. But I did get a pair of UGG boots for fancy kind of, that I will be wearing to games as well. So I'm thrilled with those. That's by far my favorite. Katie got me a Patriots sweatshirt to go on our Super Bowl run. I'm very excited for that. But those are my top 2 right now. But then I think some of the better stuff that BBN will get to see will come later on in the weekend.
Nice. That sounds good. Well, we'll transition into what Pat Kelsey's daughter gave him. This is the craziest story. I sent you the link, Stephen. So you all wrote this story. How did she get this UK license plate holder? Did she buy it, or was it like a gift exchange kind of thing? Because I don't
know exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Party Rock is in the house tonight. Okay. All right. So this is Pat Kelsey's daughter putting a UK license plate holder on his car. Obviously, he sees it. He doesn't like it. Not only does he not like it, he
committed a crime.
He throws it like out of his yard. Like, what in the world? I mean, lots of questions here. One, is it really that big of a troll prank move if you purchase that yourself?
Shout out to supporting UK athletics. Appreciate it.
Right. As the daughter of Louisville's basketball coach. I don't know. It's we're having fun with it because it's the day after Christmas and there's not a ton happening. But what was your all's reaction when you saw it?
Zach, I stole the article idea for you, so you tee it up.
Well, yeah, he's littering, so he's committing a crime. That's a fine right there, I think. A lot of people were making fun of the way he threw the license plate, which I didn't break it down frame by frame to go by that. But and then I guess you're owning the Cats by purchasing UK memorabilia. I guess that'll really show us. Him. So, but I guess if I can say one nice thing, I'll say at least the Kelsey family is all tight knit. They're all together. They better lean on each other because they're not gonna be able to lean on many wins.
Yeah, well, they're going to need it because Pat Kelsey's going to prison. They need this time spent together.
I hope he did hit a house, like crashes through a window, and they have to arrest him.
It's a $500 fine and 12 months in jail for littering in Kentucky. Up to 12 months in jail for littering in Kentucky. So I did look at. There are a couple of takes that I have here. Second of all, so that was the first take. Enjoy prison, bud. Enjoy the clink.
Endangered local fauna too. That should be an extra strike on his record.
Second of all, littering, like investing in the great state of Kentucky. Buying University of Kentucky memorabilia. Like, merchandise. Congrats to the Pat Kelsey's daughter for doing the right thing and supporting local businesses or whatever the business is. But for Pat Kelsey to just throw it in, the plastics is not decomposable. Like, they're just a terrible look. Does he really care about this state of Kentucky? I'm starting to be concerned.
Many are wondering.
Card Nation should really be disappointed in him for that. Another thing, Indiana plates. I think that's kind of a fascinating thing. So he automatically can't drive if we're just kind of doing just our base stereotypes here in Kentucky. Indiana drivers can't drive. So just because he has Indiana tags, so therefore he cannot drive. Let's see, I had one more. Oh, the stupid hat. Why is this hat facing up like this, like Donald Duck? Like those.
I didn't notice that.
Super dumb. So yeah, there are 4 big takeaways that I had of those, and all of them result in Pat Kelsey being a bad human.
There you go. I also noted the hat. Like, why is it so far back on his head? I don't understand. Just get a hat that properly fits. Another person who got a Christmas gift that they did not like was Reed Sheppard. I don't think I sent you the video or the pictures, but you all can imagine. The Rockets give out like surprise gifts. His was a Louisville shirt, which he promptly threw in the trash. Kind of a bit of redemption for the Arkansas shirt from last year, maybe, hopefully. So good job, Reed. Just don't get near Arkansas gear ever again, please. But
it reminded me of that video. They do this a lot with like NBA players where they give them, like a logo of their college rival or whatever. And they did this with the Kings not too long ago. Or I think this is when De'Aaron Fox was still with the Kings, and they tried to give him like a North Carolina jersey to sign, and he was like threw it in the trash, and someone was raving. They're like, "They beat you, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, where are all those guys now?" Like because obviously none of them were playing in the NBA. And De'Aaron Fox is a multi-time All-Star and just beat up on the OKC Thunder last night or yesterday, which is pretty cool. But I would have been interested to see if I guess spoiler, we'll talk about that in a second. Would have been interesting to see if Reed did get an Arkansas shirt. If they handed him an Arkansas shirt instead of Louisville, what would he have done then?
I would like to think that after all of that he would throw it away, but I don't know. There are still people mad about that. So
Peanut in the chat is currently mad about it. I mean, Reed would have kept an Arkansas shirt. We probably shouldn't claim Reed Sheppard because he didn't claim a look. I talked to some people around Reed like shortly after that to kind of. he meant very well with that whole thing. Just horrible execution. We understand it's a really bad call in the fact, but he thought he could be like, well, I can be the voice of reason. Coach Cal, the fans should appreciate what he did, even though he's no longer here. But everybody knows I'm still the good old Kentucky boy from London, 606. By God, like he was the one person that like I'll bring them all together, and everybody's like, no, you won't.
Too soon. Too soon.
Bless his heart. He really should have. If he wanted to execute the idea, it should have been a plain shirt with like a picture of him hugging Coach Cal or something, where no other teams or whatever. That would have been the right execution with the UK shorts, but unfortunately, that did not go well.
Yeah. Well, we still have Reed on our KSR website banner, and I'm in the we need to figure out. We're getting a new one made, so spoiler. But who do we put on it? Because Stoops is still up there. Need to take him off.
Not him. Definitely not him.
Not Mark Stoops.
I think Shea has to go up there, in my opinion. He's the MVP. Yeah. First ever MVP for Kentucky. I think he needs to go up there. His Kentucky time wasn't as remembered as some of the other guys, but he's an MVP. That's
pretty
crazy.
Freaking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about it last week.
Or Jacob Polachek's. A bunch of Jacob Polachek pictures.
That would be great.
No one keeps responding to that when I keep asking about it, so I don't know why that is.
All of his various hairstyles over the years.
Yeah, like one shot he's going like this.
He would want it on KSR Plus, so that could be the KSR.
Okay,
Plus
yeah.
cover.
There you go. Fair enough.
I love that. But last week before the volleyball Final Four, I was convinced we had to have Craig Skinner up there, and he still has a good case. But it's like, if you put Craig Skinner up there, if you've got Pope, if you've got Will Stein. Probably need to add Kenny Brooks, and then it's just 5-6 coaches.
That's too soft. That's soft. Yeah. We need some heartfelt, meaningful pieces. That I don't.
I think we put Jared Lorenzen up there.
That's heartfelt.
That's a good one. I like that one.
DeMarcus Cousins, maybe.
Ooh.
I like Oscar. I think Oscar would be a good pick.
Yeah.
Oscar and Shea. Oscar continues to kind of be like, hey, I still want to be included in this current era of Kentucky basketball. I think that's important.
Josh Allen, maybe?
Josh Allen.
UK Hall of Famer Josh Allen.
Person. I'd put Ray Davis up there. I love Ray Davis so much.
Lorenzen, Josh Allen, Shea,
Stein.
Oscar Tshiebwe with Stein and Pope.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think that's a group.
Okay. Well, maybe coming soon in the new year, you'll see it on top of KSR. But first, we've got to talk to NBA, and I'm very happy Zach is here because I know that's all he did yesterday was watch it. So give us the breakdown. I'll share what I saw on the Today Show this morning because that is all the NBA I watched was the highlights. I saw the Knicks one, which brings us to
Did they? Zach, did the Knicks win that one?
I know. I didn't want to bring that up right to start because it was against his Cavaliers. But it lets me talk about Karl Anthony Towns getting engaged. So he announced his engagement to Jordan Woods we don't know if it actually took place on Christmas, but they announced it on Christmas. He popped the question on top of like a rooftop bar in New York, and it was a huge diamond, and they're getting married, and it's very exciting. I was happy for Karl to see that news, and then he got a win. So Zach, take it away. This is your Christmas NBA game segment.
Yeah. So the Cavs Knicks game was actually awesome. Outside the outcome, obviously for me, but the game was great. Like it was start off the Cavs big lead, then the Knicks came back, took a big lead. Then it was like a back and forth thing pretty much the entire way to the end. Donovan Mitchell had a massive dunk near the end there too, with the Cavs trying to make a little comeback. So it was a really fun game. Like it was an awesome game. I during the third quarter, I switched it over to the animated version or whatever it is, like on ESPN2, they had Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Donald Duck playing basketball out there. I didn't really understand. I think maybe there were like glitches going on or something. Cause like sometimes some Cavs players were on the Knicks team. Sometimes sometimes it was just like Minnie Mouse out there with a bunch of like actual real players. I was like, how do they pick like Donovan Mitchell was Minnie Mouse for like 5 minutes and no one else was dressed as a character. It was very odd. Steven made me laugh at one point. He said that Minnie Mouse is blowing my parlay, which made me laugh. But so that was, I watched it for like 5 minutes. And I mean, it actually is kind of impressive how like closely it follows what's actually happening in the real game. Like you can see the players like kind of go behind the back or like between the legs, things like that. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so that game was fun. It was disappointing to watch them lose. Then we watched the Spurs just like beat the hell out of the Thunder for the third time this year. That was kind of a crazy game. I did not watch the Mavericks or Warriors because I just don't care about either of those teams. Anthony Davis got hurt again. He's going to miss more time. I watched a little bit of the Rockets Lakers. And then the best game of the night, I actually didn't. I fell asleep right before it started. Oh, Steven's playing it right now. Yeah, this is ridiculous looking.
This is great.
See, there's Minnie Mouse. Just Minnie Mouse and Stitch were the only two characters out there for like the half of the third quarter, while everyone else was actually in their real jerseys. It didn't make much sense.
So it's like the NFL games that they do this, where it is actually what's happening in the game.
Yeah.
They just Well,
it was
cooler, I think.
It was kind of cool, but like it was just confusing to follow because there was no rhyme or reason for who the characters were and why they were on separate teams and stuff. But
it's so stupid.
It was funny, like, because you see in the backgrounds, they've got like, there's like snow falling on like the Christmas presents in the back, and it's like it was a cool little production. Not necessary at all by any means, but I'm sure it's for the kids, really. Like if you're trying to watch the game and you want your kids to be involved too and be entertained, you throw that on and it's fine. But the best game of the entire night, Jack, I don't know if you got to stay up and watch it. I went to bed right before it started, but that Nuggets Timberwolves game was amazing. I had the stat line for Jokic right here: 56 points, 16 rebounds, 15 assists, and they won by 4 points in overtime over the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards got ejected right at the end there. I don't know if Rob Dillingham played. He probably didn't because he doesn't play anymore.
No.
Yeah, he's deep into the dog. He's in the Snoopy doghouse right now. Like it's out back, like down the street. They're not even letting him out at all. But so the games were good. I didn't get to watch the last one, but I was fully locked in for the Cavs game, fully locked in for that Spurs game, and then I was kind of in and out for the next two games, and then just didn't even catch the best game of the entire night, unfortunately. But saw the highlights and it looked like fun. So
big performances from two Kentucky Wildcats. Jamal Murray went for 30 burger, and so did one Julius Randle. Julius Randle had a very, very nice all around game. So
two guys that are playing great this season. Yeah, Jamal Murray's probably going to make his first ever All-Star team this season, which I think, and the weird All-Star rules this year are kind of they might help him out a little bit because they're doing like a USA versus international, and he'll get the Canada bump, so he might be able to move into a spot that would otherwise have been taken by like an American or something. So, or if it was traditionally East versus West, so that'll be nice that if he gets that nod.
Very cool. I watched the part of the Netflix NFL game yesterday just so I could watch the Snoop halftime show. Did you all watch it?
I forgot
it was good.
It was incredible.
It was good. I'm not going to lie. It was good.
From Martha Stewart introducing it to Snoop, and then he had like Andrea Botticelli and his son or some classical like singer. Lainey Wilson came out. Like, it was
K-pop
awesome.
Demon Hunters came out. It was the weirdest. It was the weirdest group of foursome I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was hilarious. Like, I loved it. And then he's got a bowl game tomorrow. We're gonna go through the bowl games here in a minute. But yeah, big Christmas for Snoop Dogg. It just goes to show you can put him in just about anything now, from the Olympics to a bowl game to an NFL halftime show to a Martha Stewart cooking show, and it's entertaining. Like, he is instant entertainment.
He has to be making so much freaking money. Like, I can't imagine. The dude he's like Shaq, just sponsoring everything, marketed with everything. Every time you turn on your television, it's Snoop Dogg, more and more Snoop Dogg. And he just sings the same 5 songs over and over again. Every time he does a performance, it's Drop It Like It's Hot or Ain't Nothing But a G Thing, Gin and Juice, and then he gets the hell off the stage. But you know what? I enjoy those 3 songs, and I'm gonna watch it every single time, probably.
I love it. I'll watch it even if it's the same 5. We got one piece of good football news today. Ty Bryant's coming back for his senior season. That is super exciting. Lexington's own, one of Kentucky's finest, had a monster junior year. So I was very happy to see that. Zach, you were the one who got it confirmed for KSR. So what was your reaction?
Yeah, Larry Vaught had that one first, so I'll give him credit for that. But that's a massive ad. Well, not even an ad. That's a massive piece that you're bringing back to. He was the best. He was the only All SEC coaches team player from Kentucky last season. He made the second team for that. Had 4 picks. I think that was like tied for the SEC lead as well. Picked off Ole Miss twice. Picked off Diego Pavia. really really good secondary tackler. So just a major piece that you needed to bring. Big vocal leader. Like he was a team captain for pretty much most of the season. He's very like kind of well respected in that locker room from what I know. So that's a huge guy to just have back just for a little bit of continuity purposes and just to kind of build your defense around him a little bit because he's a huge piece and you get him back for another year. I know that he would have drawn a high price if he entered the portal and tried to go somewhere else, and he would have had a lot of schools going after him. So, great job by Will Stein there to lock down Ty Bryant. That's a huge piece for the secondary.
Yeah, I was excited to see that also because I love all the pictures we get of his family at the catwalk. You know, his dad, Cisco, played for UK. They all have like the personalized, bedazzled shirts. So it would have been weird had he transferred to see them all in different gear. So yeah, I'm glad the Bryant family is sticking around. It looks like there may be some more coaching staff news on the way. We'll get that confirmed hopefully soon, but stay tuned. Will Stein is certainly not taking any days or moments or seconds off during his break. I love the chat. We have Kaylee CP4B says, there's a lady, her name is Tyler. She is talking to Zach and Jack. There's 3 of them talking basketball. LOL, the blocks remind me so much of the Brady Bunch. Yeah. I mean,
we need to have a 6-person crew at one point or like an 8-person crew so we can dig a hole.
That would be absolute chaos.
Yeah.
We'll bring it on. So we talked a little bit about it earlier. Kentucky, the basketball team is in the middle of a 10-day break before SEC play. I think is today their last day with their families, and then they come back tomorrow, Jack? Is that what it sounded to me like they had an NCAA mandated 3-day break, and then they come back?
I think some of them will be coming back tonight, but tomorrow is the, all right, let's ramp back up period. So yeah, they needed, it ended well, but the non-conference did not go well. They needed a hard reset. They need to take this next week very, very seriously. Yeah, the competition is going to be very, very difficult. Right out of the gates, you're going down to Tuscaloosa, hostile road environment to take on a very good offensive team. They're horrific defensively, but Kentucky has its hands full against that Nate Oates coached Alabama team. So a lot to work on and build upon, a few things that went well, more things that didn't go well in the non-conference schedule. So that I'm glad that they got a little rest and relaxation over the last 3 days, but they got some work to do over the next week.
Yeah,
Denzel Aberdeen's birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Denzel Aberdeen. Thank you for mentioning that. I was watching, looking at Instagram and stuff. It looked like they're enjoying the time home with their families. Jalen Lowe did a fun little family TikTok that was cute. Brandon Garrison did like a Christmas photo shoot with his girlfriend. I think Cam Williams did that too. And it's like, that just makes me flash back to when I was 18, 19 years old. I was not doing a Christmas photo shoot with my significant other with like matching satin pajamas in front of the tree.
If I had the NIL money, I would have, but
yeah, that's fair. But it's like, that's a thing now. Like, actual professional photo shoots with your significant other when you're 18, 19 years old next to the Christmas tree. But
it wasn't professional photos, but I feel like we can kind of just address the elephant in the room that every time Denzel posts an Instagram story, it's Clara Strack. Hard launch their relationship. I think that's kind of a cool thing. What was the last one we had was CJ Frederick and
Blair Green.
Blair, was that the last?
I guess, men's basketball, women's basketball couple.
Yeah.
I was going to say like widely known, maybe the last
one. Widely known.
I'm sure there have been some other ones that are like rumored or whatever. But yeah, that was definitely.
They've hard launched this one. They're Christmas official. They posted little Christmas pictures together and said, I think we even got a from Clara a happy birthday, my love. I think excuse the hell out of me.
Using the L word.
All right.
I think they're both 6'5" too. I think that's just kind of a funny little layer to it.
Yeah. I mean,
6'5" couple.
Do you think she is ever paranoid about wearing heels around him, which would make her taller? Like my mother said,
probably not.
Yeah, my mom was much taller than my dad, and so she didn't wear heels much anyways, but whenever she did, it was like she was a good like 6 inches, 7 inches taller, and my dad
she leaning on him
at all. Yeah, pretty much.
What up, sport?
Yeah, elbow up. Yeah.
My little guy over here. Give him a little noogie.
My short king. But so yeah, Zach, did you have any takeaways? What do you think Kentucky needs to focus on during the 10-day break, other than getting healthy, which is the obvious?
I mean, I don't know, because there's just so much that needs to be learned by playing together. So that just comes back to the health point. You just want to get all these guys. You want to see, if Cam Williams can continue his shooting. You want to see if Colin Chandler can kind of rediscover his shooting. The defense is probably still going to be the calling card. So maybe they'll spend the next 10 days to kind of really lean into that a little bit more and see how much they can improve on that end of the floor. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like they just kind of are what they are right now with the injuries. So just work on what they're good at right now, which I think is playing physical, rebounding, and defense. So stick with those things. And Pope still continues to be adamant about this team being a good offensive team. So I'm sure he'll tinker with some stuff in terms of how they want to go and generate some points. I'm sure it'll just be Jalen Lowe getting to the paint and try and make something happen. That seems to be kind of the best source of offense right now. And then just kind of see what happens. So it's all, I feel like we're still kind of in the unknown with this team right now. It's like this is like the third version of this team that we're going into.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am with this. It's like, yeah, the St. John's win was great. They beat Bellarmine, but they had to have 8 threes by Cam Williams to beat Bellarmine by 15. What would have happened if Cam Williams hadn't had the night that he had? Would not want to think about that. But it's like you just can't get a grasp on what this group is yet. And that's really scary going into SEC play. I mean, you got to hope that JQ is as dominant as he has seemed and that Jalen can stay healthy. But Jack, what would your 2 or 3, number priorities be working on during this 10-day break?
Finding a happy medium between Cam, you don't have to go for 8 every single night, but let's not go for 1. Let's meet in the middle. Can you become our flamethrower? Honestly, it doesn't have to be just Cam. It doesn't have to be just Colin, but somebody that you can lean on to consistently make shots, just open everything else up, and then allow them to continue their smash mouth basketball, rebound hard, die for loose balls, play with that identity that we love so much in the second half against Indiana and St. John's. There's a recipe for success there, but you can be beating these teams running away with it if you're just hitting 8, 9, 10 threes in a game instead of the 3 and 4 that we had seen up to that point. So those are the 2 main things. Find some semblance of consistency from the perimeter, and then just really continue to dig into that identity play. The 2 big lineup that's looked impressive enough with Jaden Quaintance back. Like there's enough versatility there at that big spot that you can put shooting by him. You could put additional size. He can kind of wear several different hats there. So there's a lot to like, but how they all come together, and we haven't seen the full 40-minute product of the smash mouth and shots falling. So that's what I want these next 10 days. Can they get a nice little piece of clay put all together and say, here's our new brand? That'd be very nice. Yeah,
Michael Webb 8890 had a good one. Earlier initiated offense would be nice when Jalen is not playing. I agree, that would be good. Michael Webb also mentions Trent Noah's shooting data. What has it shown over the past couple of weeks? It can't be good. I love Trent, but he's struggling.
When he shoots the ball, it's fine, but he just doesn't play very much or shoot the ball very often.
He passes up shots. We gotta figure that out, man. If you're on the floor, you have to take shots, and if you're not, then you can't be on the floor.
It feels like the clock is ticking with SEC play here. It's like you got to either, when you're in, be confident, shoot the ball, so we've got plenty of time to talk about that. I'm sure next week we'll preview SEC play as Kentucky gets ready to head to Alabama, but we've got bowl games to watch before then. Just wanted to run through the bowl games tomorrow because there are a ton. There's the Go Bowling Military Bowl between Pitt and East Carolina. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. I didn't write down the opponents on that one. I think it's Penn State and I forget who.
Clemson.
There you go. That's a good game. Wasabi Fenway Bowl between UConn and Army. And then the one I'm looking most, I know, like, is that just like general wasabi, or is it I mean, it has to be a company named Wasabi, right? Because you can't just.
I mean, it's Fenway, so is it at Fenway Park?
Yeah,
I guess
it's like the one they do at Fenway, which.
Okay.
I don't know. Football games held at other stadiums, like sports held at other sports stadiums, always kind of freaks me out. Like it always looks weird. Sure, it's cool, but it's just I don't know. It seems weird. I mean. Jack, you're the Boston sports person here. How do you feel about the Fenway Bowl?
It's fine. I wish the opponents were better. I could not give less of a rat's patootie about UConn versus Army on Saturday at 2:15, but
in football,
the idea of it is much better than the actual. I will not be watching. I'll probably look at a picture of it and go, "Oh, that's kind of neat," and then I'll forget that it ever happened. So,
but everybody's going to watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which is up next.
I will actually.
Georgia Tech versus BYU, 3:30 ABC. I mean, are you going to watch the actual game or just the Pop-Tarts post game where they descend into the toaster and come out and are eaten by the players?
Yes, I'm all of the above. I'm all for the theatrics of the Pop-Tart Bowl. I've loved following along as Brent Key and whoever, I forget BYU's coach's name, but those two just like being like forced to pretend that they care about putting the Pop-Tart in the fake toaster oven that's like built into the trophy. Like it is hilarious, and it's probably like the most well-known bowl game right now that's not like, one of the college football playoff games. So Pop-Tart knows what they're doing with their marketing and all this stuff, and they did get 2 ranked teams to play in their game. So I mean, I think they've done as well as you can trying to promote the Pop-Tart Bowl. The Pop-Tart Bowl. Breakfast strudels.
There are 6. I think there are 6 Pop-Tarts this year, like actual mascots taking part in it. So it feels like it just gets bigger and crazier every year. Holly asks, this was a question on KS Board today, what is the best Pop-Tart? I have the most basic answer. I like frosted strawberry, but only in the toaster, like with the edges almost burnt. And you eat the edges first, and then you eat the middle. But
I like the chocolate one, but growing up, we were big into the strawberry milkshake. That was one that my grandma had at her house always for whatever reason. So I got hooked on those when I was a kid. I feel like Pop-Tarts don't taste the same now than they did 20 years ago. That might just be my nostalgia messing with me, or maybe Big Pop-Tart decided to mess with their ingredients or their recipe or something. But the chocolate ones I felt like are more chocolatey when I was a kid. They're still good now, but just not the same.
The fudge ones?
The chocolate fudge.
The underrated one, the chocolate chip, where they kind of had the little glaze thing over the top. Those
not
things
enough icing.
Those were spectacular. I did love those, but I just think the OG brown sugar cinnamon so good that they're so hard to beat. So I think
Zay gets it. Zay knows they were better before. They were better before. I know they were.
All right, fair enough.
And the grand fight between Pop-Tart and toaster strudel, which would you go for?
Pop-Tart.
Toaster strudel. Sorry. No, come on. Toaster strudel is so much better. If you're putting in the effort to get a toaster strudel, it's definitely better. Definitely.
But it's harder. That's the point. You got to work for it. Like the whole idea of a Pop-Tart is you
work for it.
You got to work for it.
How hard is it for you to make a toaster strudel? You put it you do the exact same thing. Okay.
I would do that. I would get my hands. Like, no, I just want to throw it in the.
It's going to be a big topic of debate. Sleepover. The next morning, you all are going to be fighting.
Our sleepover.
Yeah, I'm going to be done with my breakfast by the time this dork over here is. Oh, hold on, guys, give me one more second.
Hey, the strawberry cream cheese toaster strudels. That's the top tier breakfast pre-made breakfast item. Michael Webb agrees in the chat.
Yeah, toaster strudels were very fan. It felt like the much fancier version of a Pop-Tart. I don't know.
They are the elite's Pop-Tart.
Yeah. So also tomorrow you got the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, Miami of Ohio versus Fresno State. See, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. His own bowl game? Yeah, he's the Arizona Bowl.
It says that right there on ESPN too. Okay, Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Yeah, on the CW.
I know. I love that it's on the CW. That just feels right, honestly. The Isleta, New Mexico Bowl between North Texas and San Diego State. I will not be watching that.
2 teams not in New Mexico. Gotcha.
Not a chance I will watch that game.
And then you get 2 SEC teams and the night games. You got the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, number 19 Virginia versus Missouri at 7:30. And the nightcap, the Kinder's Texas Bowl between LSU and Houston at 9:15 on ESPN.
The 2 games we were rumored to be a part of before March happened.
I know, and I was having like nightmares about Kentucky playing at 9:15 on the Friday or the Saturday after Christmas.
Oh, that'd have been brutal.
Whenever that was a possibility. But instead, you get LSU, and no, Lane Kiffin is not coaching them in that game. So I'm sure he will be a big talking point anyway. So, Merry Bowl-Miss for everyone who celebrates tomorrow. I'm sure our TV will be on at least the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We're actually driving to North Carolina tomorrow, so it'll be fun to unwind with some bowl games once we get there. But all right, KS board question time. Let's do it. Let's see what we got. The Kayet man. I love saying it like that. Kayet man. What's your favorite family Christmas tradition? Like a game you play, Secret Santa, inside joke on a family member, etc. Oh man. I hung out with my friends this year, which is kind of our tradition since we didn't go up to Danville. But if you all have any fun family traditions, let's hear it.
We have a very close friend group that we have done the same Christmas party every single year. It's like an ugly sweater party. And the Secret Santa version, it's like the white elephant. You do go around in a circle and all that. And like they intentionally make it the worst possible gift imaginable, where it's like Jello in a box with no, like the Jello is inside the box. There's no like container or anything. And so they open it up and there's just hands are full of Jello. So it's meant to be just weird and gross and disgusting. And I enjoy just the ridiculousness of it. And every year there's something dumb that happens that I do and thoroughly enjoy that. So outside of just the normal traditions, but Katie's mom does a really, really good job of like doing games for the kids and like, put the shoebox around your waist and put jingle bells in it. And you kind of got to dance and get the jingle bells out. Like all of those types of games. She does a great job with that. So just the spirit of Christmas is very, very strong with all of the little spots that we have to go to over the 2 weeks. It seems like we do this.
That sounds
What was Billy's best gift?
Yeah.
Ooh, well,
because I assume the other one is Miles is doesn't really understand what's going on.
He's just vibing, bro.
Yeah.
But
same.
Billy has been asking for a football genuinely for 3 months now. Like he sees a football and he goes, "I want football," and we're like, "Well, Santa's gonna,
down,
we want Santa to bring that with Santa." Oh well, if you write it on your list, and it's like, dude, we're talking about a $12 football. Like I can go get you a damn football if you really want to, but it's the premise. We need something for Santa to bring you. All right, so he very much enjoyed opening up a little Nerf football under the Christmas tree this year.
Nice. Enjoy those simple Christmases while you can, right?
Yeah, I'm still in a childless Christmas, and they're definitely different than I imagine what Jack does with his 75 family members every year.
Bro.
Yeah, he's got a big family, but we don't really have like any major traditions. Like this is the second year in a row that we've like started playing like games and stuff, so maybe that'll be something that we start doing more often. But I mean, I guess my tradition is that I come up here every year. I've been doing that ever since he moved up here. We just come up here and spend a few days for Christmas. So that's kind of the actual tradition itself, is going up and hanging out in Sandwich.
I love it. Absolutely.
Eating some sandwiches.
What's our next KS board question, Stephen? Vinegar Ham asks, when and where is your next planned vacation? I don't know if I would call mine a vacation. We're going to North Carolina. My mom has a house up in the mountains. So we're going to go spend a couple days up there early next week just because Kentucky's got a 10-day break. And when does that ever happen in the middle of basketball season? So been a crazy month, so just going to kind of go and unplug and unwind and get ready for SEC play. But outside of that, I don't know, hopefully Indianapolis in April. You never know, right?
Yeah. I'm so confident. I'm so confident in that. Book your tickets. I already have my hotel room.
Reverse the curse. Yeah.
Free cancellation on it.
Her family has, like, we did it three years ago, I think, but no, two years ago. But they like bringing the whole family down to Florida and do a beach thing where we stay in this massive condo, nice. And it's just the most chaotic wreck you could possibly think of, with kids running around everywhere and just like pizza parties every single night because you can't bring all these human beings out to restaurants and stuff. But it is beautiful chaos and is very much fun. So that is May, I believe, mid-May after we go to Indianapolis for the Final Four. Obviously, once the dust settles on that, finish the Final Four party, championship bus, bringing the bus back and hanging the banner, celebration, all that stuff. Once the dust finally settles on that, we'll head down to Destin. We're
gonna manifest it.
No planned vacations over here. I've got a wedding to attend. I'm in it as the main. I'm the main guy in it, so I'm planning that in September. But other than that, that is pretty much it that I could think of. Maybe we're doing something else. I just am forgetting right now. But yeah, no big trips yet, which is fine.
You got a wedding. That's pretty big, and a honeymoon.
Yeah.
So
that will come. I don't know if that'll be in 2026 or after, but yes, that will be on the docket eventually.
Lots to look forward to, all the same. All right. Any other questions, Stephen? All right. JSP 93. Here we go. Latest with Tyron Stokes. After Jacob and Jack's article about Pope and JMI, is there any feeling that Pope knows he needs a general manager or that things off the floor must improve? Jack, I will let you start with that.
Oh, joy. I love this conversation. It warms my heart and just keeps the Christmas spirit alive and well in my soul. No, there is no update. Kentucky is not the leader for Tyron Stokes right now. They're still trying. They're still poking around at it. I think, oh man, it's just so complicated. I don't even we would have to dig in for an hour to just get to the root of my frustration with this recruiting operation right now. But they're giving it the old college try on some of these recruitments, but
all right,
we will. I don't know how to convey the message of my level of pessimism right now is very real. But we'll see. Hopefully they can prove me wrong. I just think that there's a lot of work to do. I know that they have read the gripes and frustrations about the recruiting operation, and I know that there have been a lot of people in their ear about needing a GM and somebody to help and help get this thing across the finish line for some of these kids and all that. But it also takes two to tango, and Mark Pope says that he's going to hire a GM at some point. When will that be? I've heard that there may be some candidates poking around a little bit harder, thinking that could be more of a realistic option here in the next cycle, potentially. So I'm certainly rooting for that option. I think Kentucky desperately needs one. But until he does, then I guess I'll just, my mom says if I don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'll just leave it at that.
Fair. Well, Jamal McGlure, I think he kind of put himself up for the job on the official pregame show before the Bellarmine game. So that'd be kind of cool. I'm still rooting for Nazir Muhammad. I mean, I think that makes a ton of sense, but it's not me making the decision. So hopefully it's a decision that will be made after Kentucky wins the national championship. And we all go to Indianapolis, and then Jack goes down to Florida with 75 family members and
Correct.
60 pizza parties. And yeah. All right. I think that's it, Stephen, right? Do we have any more?
Nope. That's it. That's all.
All right. That's it. We went just over an hour. Pretty good stuff. We will let everybody get back to it. Jack, you've got to go to a family thing. Zach, you got to go party and sandwich. So
yeah, I'm about to eat pizza. Oddly enough, it seems like sacrilegious eating pizza.
That does seem wrong. That seems wrong. But as always, shout out to Country Boy Brewing for sponsoring us. Looking forward to ringing in the new year with some Country Boy this year. Shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody on KS Board that gave us your questions. And we'll see you in the new year, actually, next week. So bye.
See you next year.